Dixon Prairie is a recreation rather than a restoration. It was built from scratch starting in 1980. Today it is the home of 300-plus plant species, including Hill's thistle, a threatened species that's now a subject of conservation study in the Science Center's Plant Genetics Lab. When wildfires ravage the West, the Federal Bureau of Land Management turns to our own Drs. Andrea Kramer and Jeremy Fant. Their work has helped to improve plant restoration practices on hundreds of thousands of acres of public lands in the Great Basin region of Utah and Nevada. From the kids in the outdoor classroom to students you'll see in the Plant Science Center labs, we're committed to training the world's next plant scientists. This fall, we welcome the first candidates to the country's only PhD program, exclusively focused on plant biology and conservation, a collaboration with Northwestern University. The 100-acre oak woodland, McDonald Woods, is being returned to healthier conditions as scientists and volunteers remove invasive plants and add native seeds. We've seen two measures of success so far. Endangered and threatened plants are thriving, and rare butterflies are increasing in number. When restoration first began, the woodland was a mostly dark place, shaded by dense buckthorn from above and rampant garlic mustard on the ground. Today, the sun shines once more on the woodland floor in areas where scientists and volunteers, led by ecologist Jim Steffen, have burned, cut, and pulled out invasives. Their work continues. A surprising fact, 1/4 of the garden's 385 acres is water. Its quality matters to us, so we don't use chemical herbicides to control nuisance aquatic weeds. Instead, we rely on manpower to remove weeds and unsightly mats of algae. At this rare break in the shoreline plantings, you can walk right to the water's edge. About 80% of endangered and threatened animals spend at least part of their lives in wet areas along lakes, streams, and wetlands. That's one reason we've installed 250,000 plants along our 6 miles of lake shoreline. EPA funding helped to restore this 1-mile stretch across from the Plant Science Center. Energy efficiency, recycled building materials, a green roof, solar panels, smart lights, a rainwater glen. It's earned a LEED Gold rating from the U.S. Green Building Council, and it's beautiful too. Rather than build on an often wet site, the Plant Science Center is built above the site, raised on pillars. The surrounding landscape, aptly named the Rainwater Glen, is filled with water-loving, water-absorbing plants that filter pollutants. Visit rain or shine. It cools the building, reduces rainwater runoff, cuts pollution, and the views are spectacular. Come on up and see what's growing on the Plant Science Center's highly interesting green roof garden. When global warming alters a plant's native home, where else can it live? Inside the Plant Science Center are 2 environmental growth chambers, amazing rooms where scientists test varying temperature, light, and CO2 level tests to determine how and where a plant can and can't survive. Where will the prairies of the future come from? The answer's in the seed bank at the Plant Science Center, where tens of millions of seeds from the Midwest's rare tallgrass prairies will be stored for future restorations and scientific studies. Gardeners, horticulturists, and researchers want to know which plants are the most reliable and least likely to be invasive, the healthiest, and the prettiest. Our plant evaluation program provides answers, while our plant breeding program develops the next generation of eco-friendly ornamentals.